record, because why? It's 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock. It's time to get going. All right. So, Mr. ERG, are you ready to get started this morning? It is now 7 o'clock. We got chefs jumping in. Chef, I hope your connection is better this morning, because I'd love to have you in the hot seat this morning. I missed you last night, but thank you for joining. Thank you for joining when we talked about commitment and collaboration. Look, and if you are just joining for the first time, I do want, no, can't hear you. I do want you to, nope, can't hear you now. I encourage you to go to our blogs, right? Go to the blog on wealthyhealthyhappy.net. You go to the blogs and check out some of the our past content. I think it'll help to speed you up and kind of tie some things together for you that you know, again, just kind of makes this conversation much more relevant to you.
Can you hear me now?
So, with that being said, it's 7 o'clock. So every morning, there he goes. There he goes. Audio is good. Nope.
What about now? All right. There we go.
There it is. There. Yeah, you had to hit that. You had to hit that.
All right, guys. So welcome to the Wealthy, Healthy, Happy Show, man. Thanks so much for joining us here. We are on the Mindset Makeover Challenge. We're still on day. We're on day number 14, man. We're 14 days into this thing. So basically, we're going 30 days. And so the Mindset Makeover Challenge is 30 days of us being positively focused on our goals, our dreams, our aspirations, those things that we want to be, do, or create. I'm ERGJ, your success coach, and we got Mr. Beedles here.
What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? This is Mr. Beedles, your neighborhood financial planner, small business developer. Excited to be here this morning, and we're getting ready to dive right into this topic called Be fearless, man. So this is an excellent topic. I think it's right on time for us to be discussing today. Obviously, a lot of you guys have connected with us. We got a lot of people here. You guys want to talk about this thing. So in about 10 minutes, just to let you know, we're going to have the seats open for you to come on and express your views, your points, to let yourself be seen and let your voice be heard. Everybody has a voice. So let your voice be heard. So we're talking about be fearless, man. And so as I was actually typing this thing up, getting this show set up, man, I started really thinking about what be fearless really means and how important that is to be, because I believe that's one of the challenges. That's one of the great debates. That's one of the things that we really must overcome, is to either be faithful or be fearful, right? So we have to be fearless in order to be more full of faith. And that's towards whatever it is that we're looking to accomplish, be, do, or have, whatever it is whatever type of life we're trying to create. We have to be fearless towards that thing. We got to go full speed ahead towards whatever that is. And that battlefield of the mind of where you're going to be every day, right? It's a battle every day. Whether you're going to go full speed ahead or take the day off, you're going to be faithful in whatever it is you've been called to do, or you're going to be fearful in that thing. And so this is an excellent topic for us to discuss, that mindset, that heart condition, that attitude towards life. What is it? Now, I know we got a lot of people here, so I'm of the belief that we got a lot of faithful people in the house today, man. Mr. Beedles, what's your thoughts on being fearless? What is my thoughts of being fearless? Look, I got I'm not sure. Show of hands, show of props. If you've seen the movie After Earth with Will Smith and Will Smith's son. Show of props. Have you seen that movie? Okay, you haven't seen the movie. No props there.
What's the name of the movie again?
It's called After Earth.
He said he's afraid.
Oh,
Mr.
man.
Stefan said he's afraid to see it.
No, it's a really great movie. It's on the principle, you're dealing with the principle of fear, and that's really what the whole thing is about. So I want to read a quote from that movie. And Will Smith, he was talking to Katai, his son, in this particular movie, and they had just crashed And Will Smith was not available to be there with his son while his son was in the forest, right? And so his son was trying to get back to this safe place, and along the way he runs into all of these different sci-fi monsters and all these different obstacles. And so he teleports, so he telephones back into his dad, and he says, "Dad, I'm scared." And Will Smith tells his son, he says, "Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present or may not ever exist. That is near insanity, Katai." This is what he's saying to his son. He says, "Do not misunderstand me. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice." When he said that, that immediately blew my mind. He said, fear is a choice, and we are telling ourselves a story, and that day mine changed. So he realized, so Will Smith's dad realized that fear is different than danger, but fear is absolutely a choice. It's something that we tell ourselves. It's a story that we tell ourselves about something that may or may not ever happen. And I think we create these scenarios when you really deconstruct fear. I think we create these scenarios, right? We create these events that may or may not ever happen. And because of that, you might not ever make the phone call, right? You might need to make 10 phone calls, and you might procrastinate on making all 10 of those because you're afraid of what the other person might say on the other line. If you are an entrepreneur, if you're in the sales industry, or if you or if you have a challenge for that matter, right? Just making the choice and allowing what happens to happen, but not prejudging the moment. And I think that that's where the fear comes in. But we have to understand that there is value on the other side of what we do, right? And it was just, I just wanted to bring that out. I thought that it was extremely, extremely relevant to where we are right now. And that's, you know, we have to do a better job of facing the fear. So one of the ways that we can actually do that is write your fear down. First thing you can do to face the fear is write it down. Write it down and then look at it, right? And then identify, well, why is it that I am afraid of what I'm afraid of, right? So I'm gonna give you all a moment. In the comment box down there at the bottom, write down something that you feel like, man, I'm a little afraid of that, man. Like every time I come up to this situation, I get a little nervous. Like I really don't want to mess around with that particular thing. I don't like dealing with that. Write that down in the comments. Fear. What is that one thing that you fear?
Also,
what is that one thing?
Also, Mr. Beedles, it could also be some unrecognized fear, right? Because fear shows up in a lot of different ways. Some of it we don't even recognize. You know, as we think about, for example, if we think about procrastination, right? You know, being lazy. Sometimes it has to do with us being fearful, right? Because it's not that we don't. It's typically not because we don't think that we can do it. We typically know that we can do whatever it is we need to get done for the day. It's not that we don't know that we should do it. We typically know that we should do it for the day. But it's a choice between actually doing it or not. You know, sometimes distractions can be caused because of fear, right? I'd rather do this because it's comfortable, and I guess you can say the fear of the unknown, than do this because it's going to stretch me. It's going to cause me to grow. I could be. Let's talk about some of these fears, right? Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of change, fear of growth. You know. Responsibility, right? Man, that's a big one. Fear of commitment.
Yeah, that's a huge one there. That's a huge one. Like I did a Periscope. I mean, not a Periscope, but I did a blab last night on commitment and collaboration, and I also did one at 12:30. And so the goal was to do 2 for the day, and I set mine up for 8:30, and a fear set in, and at 8:29 I was about to cancel my blab, and something told me to take action right now. You better not cancel this blab. You need to do that right now. That's what I told myself. I looked at myself in the mirror. I said, you need to do that right now. And I did. And it was the best. It was like one of the best blabs I've ever had. And but it was going.
Mr. Beedles,
it was taking that
stage fright.
Man, I did. I was like, bruh, this is what you do, man. But the whole goal is to get better at this, to really master this platform. I love what we're able to do on this platform, how we're able to come together, collaborate, and help. And again, like Mr. Marty was saying last night, is collapse time and add value so that you can get back to doing what you do best, and that's live life. And so I did, man. So I took some massive action last night, and it was one of the best. It was one of the best blabs ever. And I will have that available for those that want to.
Hey man, I'm glad you said that, right? Because you said that you took massive action, and I know Mr. Ryan said earlier that action is the killer of fear, and that really is true. Sometimes we just got to get beyond our mind and get into action, right? Get out of our thoughts and get into activity. And we see that Sierra said that she used to fear her business not taking off until she realized she wasn't giving it her all. She wasn't willing to grow outside of her comfort zone, and so she's just really being real with us. And there may be some other people that want to share their story or share their breakthrough or share their overcoming of the fear. If you are and you want to share, the seats are open, because this is really a topic we need to talk through, guys. There was something that happened yesterday for you, Mr. Beedles, that pushed you through to say, no matter what, right? No matter what, I'm going to do this blab. No matter what my mind is telling me right now, no matter the stage fright, no matter my thoughts of the outcome, whatever it is, I'm going to do this because I committed myself to do it, or whatever the case may be. You push through the fear. And so we've got like a lot of people here. We've got 2 open seats. We're opening it up for you. If you've got a story of a fear that you overcame, and I know that you do, and I know you want to share it with the people, you want to be part of this network, jump into a seat, man. We need to hear from you, man. We need to hear these stories, these testimonies, and please don't make it a 30-minute long testimony. But, real quick, man, what is it that you feared that you pushed through and overcame, and then how did it make you feel once you got through it? What was the outcome?
Let's see. Pastor, Vango, welcome for joining this morning. He is a pastor, an encourager, a comedian, a producer, and you can also find him on unbelievable.org. Do you want to join this morning? You are new to the show, but I feel like you got something to say. I do. I feel like you got something real good to share with the team, and we'd love to have you on. Let's see, who else do we have? Who else do we have this morning? We also got Kenny J.
Raz Riser just joined. All right, I'm going to stop this broadcast.
We got Kenny J in the building. Who else do we have? Oh, Raz Rising Capital. Man, we got some good people on this morning. We're gonna give you guys like 30 more seconds, man. This is exactly what we were talking about, right? Like, this is the moment of fear. This is where it happens. Like the seats should be like jumping off the hook right now. You know, there should be all kinds of people. We should be like booting people out. Like, no, there's only 2 more seats.
So we know that. We know that they define it as false evidence appearing real. And some of us, no problem, man. We know that you with us, man. And we know that some people are gonna say, "Hey, I ain't got, it's morning time, right? I ain't got my face on right. I ain't got it together yet." But we really want to overcome this thing, man. I know there's, and even if you don't want to, jump to the open seat or whatever, maybe there's a quick blurb that you can put into the chat and let us know some things that you had to overcome in order for you to be successful. Because this is what it's all about, guys. It's the Mindset Makeover Challenge, right? We're talking about being successful. We're talking about being our best self, and a part of that is overcoming the fear. You have to overcome the fear in order to get to success. Everyone had to do it. No matter what it is for you, you had to overcome something. And so even no matter how little that was, wherever you got that inspiration from to keep moving, to keep going, you had to overcome something. And so we want to hear from you, man. We got 15 minutes left in this show. Me and Mr. Beedles can carry this thing, not a problem. But he don't have it all together yet.
Not a problem. You know what I'm saying? We got it.
So there we go. Miss Sierra is joining in. We got one more seat open for you guys. So join in on the conversation. Let your voice be heard. Everyone has a voice. Let your voice be heard. This is not a me network. It's a we network. And so we want to thank you so much for joining. And maybe you got something that you'd like to share. We'll give you an opportunity to share that. Tell us a little bit about what you do, your business, and things like that. It's a family affair.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. I had a sleepy face on. I said, well, at least let me wipe the crust out my eye. Good morning, people. How you?
That's it. That's all you got to do. That is the only requirement for being on this show is you got to wipe the crust out your eye before you.
Good morning. I am Sierra, chef extraordinaire, mentor to the young, inspiring the love of food for all. You can catch me on SierraCanCook.com, anywhere on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook as Sierra Can Cook. But fear. I didn't mean to make you stew my coffee. I'm sorry.
Hey, she perfect reason. She said she is overcoming the fear. She said no matter what, she's been with us since the beginning, and she wants to share in. She wants to give off some of that energy, man. So that's what's up. So you mentioned that you overcame this fear of actually the growth of your business, and obviously you had to take a lot of action in order to get this thing popped off, and you're still working on it. So tell us a little bit about this overcoming of the false evidence appearing real.
Well, I have a mentor. Last night, Mr. Beedles had a great laugh. Good job, by the way. I have a mentor from my network marketing days, and I used to consult with her about like all my fears of my business not taking off. And I'm like, well, what if it doesn't happen for me? Or what if I don't get the money? Or what if I fall flat on my face? Or what if I lose all my money? That kind of thing. Well, what if you succeed? What if you don't get money? What if you gain a lot of money? And I'm just like, but, and I just had all these buts. I had all these like doubts. I had all these fears that weren't actually real. Like, I can't foresee the future. I'm not a storyteller. I'm not a psychic. So I can't sit here and think that I'm going to fail, because that would be speaking it into existence. So I was having these fears with no real evidence that they would come true. You know what I mean? So for me, it took seeing and like not outside of my comfort zone. And then when I realized I'm gonna be uncomfortable, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be work, but at the end of the day, you can't. It's not changes. It wasn't meant to be. That's why it's
Right. It's like having growing pains. You know what I mean? Like when you are growing, when you're stretching, when your body is developing, when you're at the gym and you're working hard and you're getting yourself in shape. Just think about that, right? When you're getting yourself in shape, when you are working out, it is stressful, it is hard, it is tough, and you deal a lot. You deal with a lot of that, and it is pushing through those barriers that you find growth, right? And that's what's happening every single moment while we're on these calls. Is we're pushing past being comfortable and doing a little bit more than we did the last time. That's what's exciting about this thing. So, Miss Yogi, I am calling you out one more time, the spoken word artist, because this is your time to shine. You said, man, I was afraid of my voice, trying to get it together, but this is the opportunity. This is the perfect show because it's not comfortable. But as soon as you take that step, what you find is that you have way more power than you thought. You got the one seat. It's open. Oh, she did it! She did it! Let's welcome her to the show. Let me give a lot of props. A lot of props for this.
Yeah, here she is coming in. So guys,
let me give you 100 props.
Hey,
hello.
She's coming on right now. This is exciting.
Let me try to get the volume up. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you. It's going a
okay,
little slow.
My camera on this thing
we
is
can hear
great. Okay, I'm turning it all the way up. Okay. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
What's going on?
I think for me, I know what I have to say. I know what I want to say as a spoken word artist. And I used to not care about making people uncomfortable. That was a fear. Now, I think when I became a mother and people started saying, well, you can't be on stage saying all that stuff, I think that kind of played a big part in me kind of censoring myself a little bit. But I've just been really quiet for the longest. And like I have so many things to say, and I know people can't handle raw sometimes, but raw is what I have to give. And I'm kind of fearful of, I guess, some of the backlash of being raw. If that's my fear.
I get it. All right. So this is, but your charge as a spoken word artist, and I totally feel you in that space because I too am a spoken word artist. I was like really a spoken word artist before I got all these other titles. And I completely get when you have the charge to tell the truth, and the truth needs no apology though. And what the truth is going to do is it's going to polarize people, right? But that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to make you choose a side. It's and where we try to find comfort is we try to find comfort in being like in the middle. You know what I mean? Like lukewarm. But we literally got to choose a side, and when you choose to truly tell the truth, it puts people on one side or the other, and that's cool. That's where you're supposed to be. Everybody is not going to agree with it, but again, if it is your truth, then it has to be expressed. And when we don't express the truth fully, what tends to happen is your truth turns into something else, right? Your truth can turn into an addiction if you don't express it fully, right? If you think about that, you think about that honestly, like your truth can transform itself into something else when it's not expressed. So you want to be honest, and again, you taking the steps today to say, you know what, I'm not really comfortable, but I'm gonna do it anyway is the first step in that direction. But I completely get it. But you did an amazing job by just clicking the button and saying, look.
So Miss Barnes, man, it's interesting that you say immediately when you said your story, this thing came to me. It said from Maya Angelou, says, I know why the caged bird sings, right? I know why the caged bird sings. And so I wonder, the question I would ask you at this point, with where you've been, you said the longest. You also said there are things that you want to express, and maybe you're finding a different way to express it. I wonder how you're singing now. In other words, what has this transitioned or transformed into for you, where you're not expressing, your truth or your raw story, but what other ways are you expressing it? Because it's coming out in one form or another, because that caged bird can't stay caged for so long. Eventually you have to spread your wings and fly. So I'm wondering how you're expressing this raw truth in your day-to-day life, or how is this how is it coming out in some other form? Is it at all?
I think for right now it's one-on-one. I end up talking to people one-on-one and just really giving them what they need one-on-one. because I can better gauge. I don't know what that noise is. I can better gauge like that. So I do a lot of one-on-one with people, and just counseling and talking to people, and that's how I end up. And then I have a daughter, so she gets all of me, every part of me. So I think that
she gets all the honesty.
she get everything. But I'm really like taking in a lot, and eating, if you will. I'm eating right now. This is time for me to eat. And when I get a chance to, a lot of it is just one-on-one. Like, I know the person, I'm gonna sit down and we're gonna talk, we're gonna have a conversation. I'm gonna be raw with you.
Right.
And then you can take that any way you want to. I can see your face.
So is this so are you now more moving into, okay, well, I want to go into coaching and counseling than spoken word, or are you still a poet on the inside and you find another way to express that? Do you write your spoken words out now? Do you still express this rawness that you have in the spoken word format?
I'm gonna put it this way. I'm starting to write again.
Okay.
I'm starting to write again.
So can you tell us what the last longest means?
Last longest means my daughter's 5, so probably about 4 years. I have not really written, I've performed, but I've performed old stuff. Like, if you've seen me once, you've seen me. You see me again, you're going to see the same thing you saw before. I haven't performed anything new up until yesterday, December 1st, actually. I wrote something and it came out and it was new and it was pretty good. It was raw too.
So I see you wrote a book, says, Why Aren't You Listening? Tell us a little bit about that.
Why Aren't You Listening? I wrote that in 2008, and it is a book of stories. Not all my story, but it is stories, and it has everything in it from God to Pretty Panties to comedy to poems like Orgasm. I mean, I run the gamut, and there's something in there that speaks to everyone. And some people tell you got to find your target market. You have a certain customer. I've seen them all, and they've all had rave reviews on from young to old to teenagers to Black and white, Hispanic, and they're waiting on the next one. So
I got one last question for you. Kind of wrap this up. So with where you are right now in this last longest in this space that you are in, it looks like you're starting to express yourself now. And it seems like you're a coaching and counselor to one-on-one. So here's my question for you. If you were counseling yourself, what advice would you give yourself? What advice would you give your old self as it relates to where you are right now? If your old self came to your new self and said, hey, I am going through this right now, whatever that is for you, and I need some help, it's a lot easier sometimes to give other people advice. But now I want to know, what advice would you give yourself? Because there's somebody that's listening to this right now who's in the same place that you are in, who needs the advice from you speaking to your old self.
Wow. And you say that, and honestly, I would say that there are seasons to this. That's what I always say. It might not be your season to write. It may be your season to draw from other experiences. It may just not be the time to write, but it doesn't mean you'll never write again. And it doesn't mean you won't be able to tell your story again. It just means you'll have more to draw from. So right now, it's probably just the end of my last season. And in the start of a new one.
You just got like 500 props on that one.
I didn't even look.
Hey, that was so good right now. That was so good. Yeah. You got to know what season you're in. And a lot of times we're trying to sow seed when it's time to reap the harvest, and vice versa. We're trying to reap a harvest when it's time to sow seed and prepare the soil. And we can't always be in harvest season, and you can't always be in sowing season. right? And so having an honest look at where you currently are right now, and truly sitting down and evaluating, just okay, well, where am I, and and how do I get to my next step, and what are the action steps I need to take in order to get there. And so that might help you to identify, look, I got to sow some more seed. If I want a bigger harvest, I have to do more in the field. I have to give more. I have to, I got to learn more. I have to, I got to be around people that are doing some of the same things that I'm trying to do. And in doing that, then it takes you to the next step. But having the presence of mind to evaluate where you are and know that I got to be in the right season to bear the right fruit when it's time is truly important.
It's interesting, right? Because we say evaluate, right, what season that you're in, and sometimes you can't do that alone. Sometimes you need that accountability partner. You need that person, that coach in your life that can help you to evaluate beyond yourself, right? Because when you're in the moment, sometimes it's hard for you to evaluate on your own. It's a lot easier sometimes for someone else to really come in and evaluate, okay, here's where you are from what you're sharing. Here's what I see. Than it is sometimes for you to evaluate yourself. Now, speaking on that, we got two great people that are here that can actually help you if you are in that place. I'm a success coach. Some of the questions that I just asked Ms. Barnes, which may have opened up some things for her, but also opened up some things for you that are listening. This is what I do. I help people to evaluate where they are in order for them to hopefully to get to where they want to be. And a lot of times it starts with where am I at right now as it relates to before we can really start looking at where I want to go. Where are you at right now? What have you learned right now? What skills have you acquired? Where are you right now? We have to accept where we are right now. We have to accept where we are in life, and then we can really start looking forward to where we want to be because we have accepted where we are. So with that being said, that's what the Wealthy Healthy Network is all about. It's all about building community, building people up. And if you're a person that's saying, hey, I need that accountability, I need that individual in my life right now, I need to recognize where I'm at, and I need someone to help me to get to where I'm going to formulate this thing. That's what Future by Design is all about. So I'm about to put a link below where you can actually sign up for a free consultation. We can have conversations just like this, one-on-one. Maybe you didn't want to get into an open seat, but this conversation helped you. I see Raz Rising said there are seasons to this. He needed that message like breakfast today. And so every day that we meet, hopefully you're getting something from this, and you can actually sign up to either one of us, Mr. Beedles or ERGJ, and get that consultation so we can really find out where you are and also help you to get to where you want to be.
Thank you.
I love it. Look, we got all right. Before we get out of here, we are a little bit over time, but I wanted to make sure that we addressed Walter at a Valor Kingdom, and he says, how can you leverage only a few seeds? I think that's a great question, right? How can you leverage only a few seeds? All right. So the first thing I want to bring out is that for those that love the some of the scripture, I love the one that says that if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. Right. That's one of those passages that, that really just blows my mind every time I think about it. If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. And so if you had just a few seeds, you could move the world. Right. So this platform right here is where we come together and we leverage the few ideas that we do have, the ideas that are right up here, to truly change and impact what you can do on a day-to-day basis. And so we come here together every morning and we talk about the strangest secret. And we talk about the 30-day challenge, and we're into day 14 right now. And I know that the seeds that we've sown over the last 13, 14 days is truly making an impact. I see it happening in my life, and so I can't wait for the next 30. But that's how we're doing it, man. You know what I mean? Like the leverage is happening right now, and you being on the call is one of the reasons why that's happening. So I hope that answered your question, man, or at least motivated you.
Yeah, and also, as she said, that in order to reap a harvest, right, answer your question, how do you leverage only a few seeds? The real answer to that, in my opinion, is you sow those few seeds until you get some more, right? Because you only really need 1 or 2 seeds to actually be cultivated properly in order to get your harvest. And see, here's the thing. Here's what most people will do, right? They'll say, oh,
That's
I only
good.
have a few seeds, so I'm going to hold on to these few seeds. Yeah, I got a few
That's the
seeds
talents.
here, but I'm going to hold on to these few seeds until I can actually get some more seeds, and then I'll drop my seeds in the ground. No. Start with what you got. Drop those things into the ground. Let your voice be heard. Let your talents be shown. Let your skills be expressed. Your few seeds, and you're going to see that those seeds are actually going to grow and attract more, so you can have more seeds to plant the next time it's planting season. But if you hold on to your seeds, you'll never get a harvest. If you hold on to your talents, your skills, and your abilities, you'll never get a harvest. Walter, we're going to let you in for just a second. We've got to end this show, but go ahead and share your thoughts.
Yeah, my question.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Sleeping, but my question is, I don't know what my seeds are sometimes, like or where to plant them. I have 330,000 images on my art site. That's one thing. But I placed something there before. Maybe it was inappropriate, so you cut it out. But it was a way for people who are interested in having their own business to start a business for free. And it's also a marketing tool. That's why I put it up. But somehow it got kicked out or whatever. So,
yeah, I kicked it out because I like to talk to people first before they start to. We want to create a network.
I didn't know that there was any way of getting it into the seat. So I just wanted to
not a problem. Not a problem.
Can I share it again?
Yeah, you can put it in there. Not a problem.
Because it's also something that you can use to promote this blab. And what happens is you can sign up for free, and if you introduce it to people and they see the value of using the more additional tools that it has, you get 20% automatically. So it can help a lot of people who don't know how to earn money or anything by just simply them signing up and introducing in this one, there's a link on the bottom that's my affiliate link.
Right.
But also it's a tool that you could send out your blab information or anything that you want, whoever you are, to 85 social media sites around the world. It's not just Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn, but there's 85 at least social media sites around the world that this can connect to. So if you have a message, you can send it out to them all at once.
Right.
And
so
also,
I got a question for you because I'm a little confused, right?
Speaking to my microphone. Speak into my microphone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm a little confused. So I just I like to ask this. When you came on, you said you don't know what your seeds are, but you're talking about helping people start a business, and get their business out for free, right? So I see that as a tool, right? That's a great tool.
I'll explain it. I signed up for this maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I didn't really do anything with it. I got a few artist friends to sign up. But then my art, I had 175,000 images up in 2013, but the server lost 100,000 of my images. So I took every ounce of focus that I had on re-uploading the images that they lost from the site. Now I have 330,000. I have 200,000 more to upload yet. That's 500,000, whatever. And I create, and I
that's a lot of content.
Images every single day. So I'm on a roll and really focused. But there's not much sales. There's some viewership. I get 10,000 to 40,000 visitors a day to my art site, but not that much purchasing. But there is an affiliate program for the art as well. And I can't do it in New York because I was doing it, the affiliate program for the artists. There's 55,000 other artists there as well. But they made it a tax in New York, so I can't do it here. I was earning money and they took it away from me. So now I have to try and encourage people outside of New York to join the affiliate program. And I have a link for that too, if you're interested. And if they take the tool for starting their business and earn some money, and then also become an affiliate for the art style, then people can earn money and have fun and enjoy themselves. That's the seed, but it's hard to plant it because people are into all these different things.
Right.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Walt. Look, Walt, we are 10 minutes. We're 10 minutes over. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to come back tomorrow, 7 a.m. in the morning. I want you to be the first guy in. I want you to come in at like 6:55 in the morning, and that way we can talk a little bit more about what your business is all about and how you can be a part of the network, man. We definitely want you back. But again, we want to be a respecter of people's time. And look, we gotta make some phone calls today, baby. We gotta make some money today. Until we can get on the blab and make money on the blab, I got to get off the blab.
That's why
at 7:40. But look, that's coming though. That's coming. Just know that is coming. I just spoke that. We are going to be able to make money on the blab. So this is going to be where we come to work right here. And I'm excited about that. So I know I threw that seed out there. I know somebody's going to be thinking about that. And there's going to be some ideas that come back.
Same thing for you, Mr. Slace. We're going to have to get that question. I know I think you were asking Walt that. I'm not quite sure, but we're going to wrap this show up, man. This is what we do. So follow us. I think I put that link in wealthyhealthyhappy.net. That's a place where you can actually join the network, follow us, see what's going on, keep up with the content, find the Stranger's Secret. You can find some of the services that are available. You can also click on the link for the Future by Design. If you need that person that's going to help you talk through your fears, it's the same way that Miss Yogi just did, talk through her fears and talk about success. You want to find, reach out to Mr. Beedles if you're like, hey, man, I got this business idea. I'm looking to find out how I can grow it, different things that we can do. Sometimes we just need to talk this thing out. We need to talk through this stuff in order to get a clear direction for what we're looking to do. We just had a last, sometimes some things are a little cloudy and we need to clear some things up. And so we need clarity, bring clarity into our future by design and make it crystal clear what we need to do, what we need to accomplish in order to make that thing be successful. That's why we're here, to help you guys out with that. So thank you so much for joining the Wealthy, Healthy, Happy Show. Day number 14. You're supposed to go out and be great today. You're supposed to go out today and be positively focused on your goals, your dreams, and your desires. This is ERGJ, your success coach. We got Mr. Beedles.
This is Mr. Beedles, your financial planner and small business developer. Thank you guys so much for joining in and staying over time. This message will be up on the website shortly, so make sure that if you know somebody that needs to hear this message, tell them to get connected. www.wealthyhealthyhappy.net. This is Beedles. We are out.